Guys, and welcome to my channel. This is my very first video here on YouTube, and on my channel I will be talking about my debt-free journey, and the software I use is You Need a Budget, or Ynab for short, along with a planner. And today I have to finish setting up my 2022 budget in Ynab, and that I do have my calendar view done. So now it's just a matter of getting Ynab situated for the beginning of the year. I did get paid on the 31st, so I do have that paycheck to budget. And that, as well as making sure that my categories are set up correctly and that my payees are set for this year. As this is my first video here on YouTube, let me give you just a little bit of background. I've been using my planner in Ynab since November of 2019. I've been on my journey. Basically, the end of 2019 was understanding the 4 rules of Ynab. First one is give every dollar a job. Second is embrace your true expenses. And basically that means you're seeking funds, and that to make those accountable in that within your budget. And number 3 is rolling with the punches, because because we put it on paper or in a software program does not mean that that is how life goes sometimes. As much as we plan, sometimes we get a curveball. So that is rule 3. And then the last rule is aging your money. And that is a really, really fun rule, because if you do follow rule 1, 2, and 3, rule 4 just seems to happen. And with the calendar and Ynab, I like to have a fresh start every year. So this way I can track exactly what I paid off in, say, 2021, in that I paid $8,142.88 in that, and then I can go back and see what bills did I take care of in 2021. And then the year prior to that, in 2020, I paid $7,132.83. So I can see that as I'm progressing in my debt-free journey, more and more of my debt is being paid off. And so I am excited to see what I can take care of here in 2020. I'm not exactly sure how much of a backstory you guys want. Let me know in the comments, and that if you want me to share kind of like where I've been with my stuff, or because it is a new year, I am starting out with a new budget. And that, so hopefully by starting right at the beginning, I can take you guys on my 2022 journey. Please, if you want to follow, please hit the subscribe button along with the like, and let's get into it. Right now, down here, in that I do have a calendar view in that of the planner that I do use. This is going to help me make sure that my data within Ynab is correct, because your budget is only as good as the data that you have. Either it be in a planner, something that is written, a software program, in that the data has to be accurate in order to accurately reflect the journey that you are currently on. So that is why I use both, in that to make sure that I stay on track, and that both the planner and the software match. So With YNAB, it is a virtual envelope system. I also do use physical cash envelopes as well, because as I've been on my journey, I've learned I'm an emotional spender and that I really can't look at my bank account. And that because when I see a large lump sum, I think I actually have that to spend. And that is where YNAB comes into play for me. Instead of checking my bank account, I double checked in that the category here, and then the cash envelopes, and that help keep the spending in check for me. Uh, so right now, in that you see that I do have my paycheck to assign because I have not done that. The only thing that's been done is the paycheck has been entered into YNAB. Because today is on New Year's Day, it's the first. I do have rent, my garage, my water, and then my fee, and that have come out today. So I do need to catch that up. I do have my renter's insurance that is due on the 3rd. I pay that on a yearly basis, so that is one of my sinking funds. And then my Xfinity bill for my internet and my phone are due on the 8th. So those are the bills that I must take care of between now and the 14th. And that as I budget um, on a paycheck basis, I don't forecast anything because that doesn't seem to work for me. Um, and that's so I have to basically budget from paycheck to paycheck. And I seem to do fairly well with that. So let's go into the actual budget. We'll go into my household checking. That is one thing on my channel. Also, I will share my real numbers, and that from what I get paid to what I budget. Um, so the first thing that I'm looking at is my townhouse. This was split into multiple categories because I really want to answer that question. Where does my money go? Where do I spend it? And the last couple of years, when I was really getting to understand YNAB and the principles and the rules, I used to have this lumped together, and that so it would just be my townhouse, and then it would be rent, and then within that, the housing fee, the water, my parking garage, and then of course my rent. That would all be lumped together. And so every time I would look at my overall, my reports and everything, it would just show me rent in that 1,100 and then whatever it was that for that time period and that for my rent. And so if I do decide to move at the end of this year, looking at this isn't going to answer the question of what do I actually pay in rent. So that is why I've decided to kind of like break it down. Just so if I do decide to move, I am comparing apples to apples. And then let's see, my next one is American Family. That is in there. And that dollar amount is correct. And let's take a look then. Okay, so the 14th is my next pay period, and out of my paycheck, I automatically have $25 that is taken out of my paycheck and put into my savings account. So as of right now, I haven't received my first paycheck yet in January. So I'm going to try to bump this up where I'm putting $30 a month away. And that because I've been at $25 for quite some time. I'm going to see if I can maybe give this some love this year and see if I can try to put more money into my savings than what I have been. And then let's see, the car payment, that is correct as well. Okay, and Bank of North Dakota, BND. So They also put in a new system where you can actually track your loans with your interest rate and how long it's going to take to pay it off. So I'm hoping that this got carried over correctly. I won't know until the 17th if this register part is done correctly. As I make a payment, it should record into the loan section, and this dollar amount here, it should start decreasing if this is set up correctly. If not, I will have to come back in and take a look at this to see what I did miss. Because usually, like here, my car payment, um, it says car payment, and then it has these little arrows. So this will automatically show when I go into my car payment. It will show here that I did make a payment. I just need to make sure that um, that this is set up correctly as well, just because it doesn't have the arrows. So I'm not exactly sure if it's because it's a split category. Um, and then I do need to add in my Xfinity. I did have that broken down into two different categories, but it's one entity that I'm paying. It's just two different bills, and they're paid on the same day. So what I want to do is I'm going to put in Xfinity, and then I'm going to come over, I'm going to click my split. And for right now, just to get it to register, I'm going to say Xfinity, and then I'm going to put my category. So this category that I'm going to do, and I'm going to put my phone, and my phone is 5783. And then the next is still Xfinity. And I'm gonna go ahead, say my internet bill, and that's 70 a month. And then I'm gonna come back to the payee, and I'm gonna take that out. Because I have the payee right up here, I don't need it to repeat down here. I'm gonna go ahead, oops, I forgot to put in my total for both categories. So that is 127.83. 127.83. I'm going to go ahead, hit save. And so now in that, I do have my Xfinity bill in there on the 8th. And so we'll give it one more quick look, make sure that everybody is accounted for. I am going to leave my American Family for my car insurance and my renter's insurance separated out, just because in that my renter's insurance I pay yearly, and then my car insurance I pay every 6 months. Even though they are the same company, the due dates are different, and the frequency is different as well. And that is to when I do pay those. So that will stay split. But as far as that goes, I believe that is all my bills that I do have to take into consideration on a monthly basis. I do have some bills that are yearly. So as we go through my budget and we get closer to those yearly subscriptions, and that they will also show up in the register, because if we switch over, do all dates. So like my Sirius XM radio, as you see, it's not due until 4/20. My Ynab is not due until 2/22. So I do keep in that my information on a monthly basis, just so I can see exactly what bills I have that month. And when I find, if hopefully the goal is to get a month ahead on my expenses. So when I can do that, in that where I'm budgeting a month ahead. So for example, we're in January. If I was not living paycheck to paycheck, instead of budgeting here in January, I would be budgeting for February. So that is the goal. So in that the paycheck that I get in that month, the goal is to be putting that money towards the next month expenses. So that is part of that age your money rule number 4. And the reason why I decided to come on YouTube was to basically document my journey and to be held accountable. Because when you're budgeting by yourself, and that you're able to be a little bit more relaxed and let things slide and stuff like that, where if you have people holding you accountable for that, that you're not able to slide as easily. So that is really what I'm looking for, and that is to be held accountable in that on my debt-free journey. And that, because as you see right now, my total debt that I still have is $78,341.23. So that is still a significant amount of debt that I am carrying. I in the last couple years since I've been using Ynab, I've managed to pay off $15,275.11. So I mean, I was making progress in that on my debt-free journey. It's just I'm getting into the bigger portion of my debt, and I don't want to lose the traction that I've been making. I don't want to feel defeated. And so I'm really hoping that the budgeting community would be able to help hold me accountable, help give me the support maybe that I'm looking for, and that and the encouragement to keep going with it. And who knows, maybe on this journey I can inspire somebody else along the way in that. So I'm excited to see what 2022 has to offer. I'm gonna just double check, make sure that my categories have a target set for them. It's just so when I come in here to look at my budget, that I can see when the payments are due. So I do have to make that adjustment with my car. So I do know when that due date is and when I need to have the money by. So this is by the 15th of the month. So it's monthly 15. Okay. And that is there. Wonderful. Just make sure that my debt for my student loans are also okay. And then my Fed loans right now, they're due on the 19th, but they're still on hold. And I've really been trying to work on this BND, getting these 3 loans taken care of for my student loans, because they are my biggest pain point within my budget right now. So if I can really get this bank to go away, that would be a really huge relief in that for me. And the quality of life, basically all this down here in that, oh, my subscription. Okay, subscriptions, yes, they are where they need to be. And okay, everything looks good. So right now, basically my budget is really bare bones. So let's get this budgeted out. Let's go ahead, take care of the overspending that I did because of the one bill. So it's not really overspent because the money is in my checking account. I just don't have my checking account and my YNAB. I don't have them linked And I have that done on purpose because that means I have to come into my budget and physically work it. If I have the data imported in, I would basically be just going through the motions. I wouldn't be working my budget. It basically would be set it and forget it, and that because the system would be pulling in the information in that and then clearing it and doing all this stuff for me, where in that by not having my accounts linked, I have to come in, I have to, double check, make sure, yes, that payment did clear. Yes, this is actually what I paid. And that, so in a way, by doing it this way, I get held a little bit of that accountability and that I was talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check these, and I'm going to go ahead, fund them so that it takes care of the overspending. And then, like I said, I budget on per paycheck. So my next paycheck is on the 14th. So I need to take a look from the 31st through the 14th and cover any bills that I have between that pay period and next. So the next bills that I do have is my car insurance, or I'm sorry, my renter's insurance, and that for the year. Since I've joined Ynab and started doing my planner, let's see, I was 20, I want to say it was 2021 when I was finally able to put money aside by having my sinking funds in place back in 2020, and understanding rule 2, the true expenses. And that is what my renter's insurance, my car insurance is. And so now within the 2 years, I'm finally able to pay my renter's insurance for a year, where before I was paying it month to month. And that and 2020 was that turning point where, yes, I was still paying it month to month, but I was starting to build up that sinking fund. So when 2021 came, I had the money. And that, so how I achieved that was I would put the money for my monthly payment. And then when I got paid again, I would put another month in there. So it slowly started in that providing that cash envelope in that with that extra money. So it was getting double paid each month. Same with my car insurance, in that I pay my car insurance every 6 months. And the biggest thing is, just take it little by little and make the start with a small goal and then watch it snowball. That is what I had to do in order not to be overwhelmed, because up until 2019, I was just paying my bills, and that everything was on autopilot. As soon as I got paid, and that I would go in, and I wasn't able to ever have my bills on auto pay, just because I was living, if I did not pay the bills correctly, and that I would end up overdrafting my account. And it was causing a lot of stress, and I wasn't sleeping very well because I was always worried about the bills. And back in 2019, I had gone through a lifestyle change and everything, where now in that it was just my son and I, and he was completely depending on me in that to provide everything that he needs, our household, everything. So at that point, and that I was really blessed to have Ynab, to find it, to give it a shot, to see, if I could make it work. And little by little, it definitely has been putting me on the right track. It has been making sure that I'm able to finally have the sinking funds, have my spending under control, and have my bills on auto pay. And that was when I was finally able to have all of my bills on auto pay and to pay them on a yearly basis, on a 6-month basis. That was a huge win in my book, in that because up to that point, I was never able to do that. And it was just about making, those small steps, and setting your own goals. What would make you happy in that with your budget? And those things were, as simple as they sound and stuff like that, and they are, those were huge things for me. And so as I was reaching those milestones, I just kept gaining momentum and gaining more and more momentum to keep going with my budget and to keep on the track that I'm on. And a lot of times I hear people that use, you need a budget, and that talk about how it was a game changer for them, how it, basically saved them and stuff like that. And for my situation and stuff, I find that to be very true. It was a game changer for me. It definitely changed my life. It changed my thinking. It changed everything that I thought I knew about budgeting. So basically, now that I've given you a little bit more information, if you're still with me, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead, wrap this up, and that because as everything is set up in Ynab and everything is set up in the planner. So if you do want to follow me on this journey, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave your comments down below. And I would love to see what you guys think, what I can do better. And I'm really, really hoping in that to meet some really wonderful people in that within the community, and to have the accountability in that for this next year. And I'm excited. So bye guys, take care.